Hello, my name's Julie Williams. I'm a registered migration agent with Migration Downunder, and we're getting a lot of inquiries at the moment about travel exemptions. As the longer the borders remain closed, the more the frustration grows, and we do understand and we do empathise with your situation if you've been separated by your loved ones. But please don't inquire with us about travel exemptions if you've had so many refused, or if you just want a travel exemption for either yourself or your partner, for someone that you may never have met, but you've struck up a relationship over the internet, or perhaps you have met each other and you've been traveling back and forth from one another's countries, but you're not necessarily deemed to be in a de facto or married relationship. You're not going to get a travel exemption, I'm afraid. If you're just girlfriend, boyfriend, friends, that travel exemption's not going to work. And I know some people have been trying to reinvent the system so that they can meet the criteria of a spouse of an Australian citizen or permanent resident by possibly the spouse registering the relationship here in Australia, or maybe you've even married online because your country allows that. A marriage certificate or a registration certificate alone is not going to get you a travel exemption. It's also not going to get you a visa for a partner visa, because you need to show that you're not living apart on a permanent basis. And you need to able to provide all other evidence to show that you've combined your lives together. So if you were living together prior to COVID and you've been separated since COVID and you were living on a permanent basis, then yes, you would be eligible possibly for a travel exemption. But if you've never lived together and you've either just married or you've got registered your relationship and you're not living together, then I'm afraid you're not going to be successful in either a travel exemption or a visa application. In regards to Subclass 300, I know there's a lot of concerned people out there who have partners, or you are one, who holds a 300 visa and it's going to be expiring very soon. Look, don't despair. As much as it's easy for me to say, I do understand that it is quite frustrating, worrying, and it's providing a lot of anxiety and stress. But look, I'm not sure what the government's going to do. I don't believe they're going to make you have to re-lodge and repay another fee. We're hoping that they will possibly just extend the length of that visa to then enable you to enter once the borders do reopen. And unfortunately, those that are 300 visa holders are also not being successful with travel exemptions unless you have been living together and you're both living together offshore and you're going to be traveling here to Australia with your partner. On that circumstances, you'll possibly get a travel exemption. But look, travel exemptions are done on individual basis. But look, we can't give you any magic answer or be able to miraculously turn that result around if you don't meet the criteria that's specifically set out on the government or the Department of Home Affairs website in regards to that. The other question we're getting, if you're a husband or a wife or a de facto spouse of somebody who is here in Australia, but they're a temporary resident holder. Maybe they've got a 489, maybe they've got a 485, perhaps a 482, any type of temporary visa, and you are also the holder of that visa, or you're married. Unfortunately, if you've been separated and you're stuck offshore and you're the secondary dependent or you're the main applicant, you're not going to be able to get a travel exemption, I'm sorry, to re-enter Australia, unless you can show that you're in an occupation on that priority list. So I'm sorry to say that temporary residents that have been separated by COVID are not going to get that travel exemption. It's the same with 482 visa holders. If you're offshore and you're not in any of those occupations that are in the priority list, then I'm sorry to say that you're not going to get the travel exemption to re-enter either. But look, stay tuned. We do hope our borders are going to be opening, at least the domestic ones. And until the domestic ones are open, I'm afraid the international ones are not going to open anytime soon. So look, I do understand that there's a lot of anxiety out there and desperation of being able to reconnect with your loved ones. But stay tuned, and if you're not a subscriber to our channel, please do subscribe, as we'll endeavour to keep you up to date as much as we can with the latest developments as far as visas are concerned with regards to the COVID-19 pandemic.